Willie D Live.
What's up, family? A TikTok video posted July 19th by a user named Shay urged Black American women to boycott African-owned braiding salons starting August 1st. Why? Well, the reason she cited was exploitation and disrespect in those spaces. Yeah, the movement has gained media coverage, including by Black Enterprise, highlighting growing tension between some Black Americans and African immigrant-owned salons, restaurants, and shops. But check this out, family. Africans are not taking this line down. Oh, no sirree. In fact, they're not taking it at all. There's a Nigerian woman on TikTok who came for everybody. Yeah, man, she was hot. I'm not going to post her video because she might not like what I got to say. So if I post a video, she might try to get me struck, on YouTube. So I'm not going to do that. I'll just tell you what she said. She was going off. Before I go any further, shouts out to Dennis Sperling because this is where I first saw the story. So she said that if all immigrants call out from work just one day, African Americans wouldn't know what to do with themselves. Yeah, man, she was just going off. She said, if immigrants just told in America, if the immigrants just said to each other, don't let Blacks come into your grocery stores, your salons, don't service them at all, and don't get me started about the doctors. If the African doctors said, we're not going to treat you, if immigrant doctors said we're not going to treat you, how would you African Americans survive? Oh man, she was going in. She said, you do not want to go to war with Africa. 64% of the Democratic vote is immigrants. Y'all believe that? 64% of the Democratic vote is immigrants. Where that number come from? Anyway, she said that, man, they'll boycott the elections and Blacks won't have no action. Yeah, she said, you went through pain, we went through pain. You went through slavery, we went through slavery. Stop acting like you're the only one who has suffered. Yeah, see, the difference between us and y'all is that we don't complain and we don't throw a pity party. And if you wanna have a good life, do what we do, go get educated. Damn. So all of these tens of thousands of kids that I be watching every single year graduating from high school and college, getting all kind of degrees and stuff. I guess that's AI. Anyway, fam, she said also, we got more white people eating African food and doing braiding than you. That's a lie, man. I ain't even got to go stand around the stores and salons to know that that's a lie. The restaurants, I ain't got to even look around because I have visited many African restaurants and I never seen white people in African restaurants. So she is lying. She's straight up lying. At least not in Houston. I know for a fact. I've never seen a white person, not one white person, in an African, any of a Jamaican restaurant, because I eat Jamaican food a lot. I never seen a white person in a Jamaican restaurant. Now, I'm sure they've been there. I'm sure that one or two have been there. But I'm saying I go frequently and I don't see them. I think that this woman is barking up the wrong tree. She says that they're not disrespectful, but she's lying. She is disrespectful. For her to have the audacity to be in the United States and be talking this way about Black people in the United States. First and foremost, if it wasn't for us, she wouldn't even have the opportunity to even be here and be free. She'd probably be locked up in a cage somewhere on some type of plantation. See, they forget that little old thing that was called slavery here in the United States, where Black people suffered for hundreds of years and then they actually revolted. See, a lot of people try to act like black people were just freed one day, and out of the goodness of Abraham Lincoln's heart, he just freed black people. No, what happened was black people was revolting all over the country. They were fighting back. They were killing slave owners. See, that's the part of history they won't tell you. They was killing entire families. They was killing them, slaughtering them all over the country. It was getting out of control. So what they did is pulled the wool over everybody's eyes and said, we're going to end slavery because of the economic disparity in the South and up north. The South got too much action. They smelling they piss. They want to succeed. Now what we're going to do? We're going to end slavery, and that'll cripple them economically, which worked out exactly like they had planned. But make no mistake about it, Abraham Lincoln was indeed a racist himself. He was a slave owner himself, and he if it had not been for black people fighting back, and of course, you know, the economic thing, slavery would probably still be going on to this day. All right. To keep it a buck, the woman made a couple of good points, but this notion that Asians and Hispanics and others are going to join them in a fight against black Americans is cuckoo. If something really went down, do you know they gonna treat your black ass like your black ass? What is wrong with people? She thinks she's special. Globally, America has done a great hit job on black people, and they don't know the difference. They don't give a damn if you're from Africa. They look at that skin color. They look at that hair. And that is enough for them to hate you, to subjugate you, to press you, to colonize you, to oppress you. You dummy. She talks about how independent and revolutionary Africa is, but she failed to mention that if a war broke out right now, if any one of these countries decided that they wanted to attack any country in Africa, Africa could not defend itself because they do not have a military presence that is strong enough to withstand any type of real heat coming down on them. That's what she don't understand. And that's one of my biggest trepidations about moving to Africa, because I believe that there's a lot of prosperity for black folks in Africa. For us to go to Africa, I think it would be great if we would make a move like that. But my thing is, I know they hating asses in America gonna see what's going on, and they gonna want to try to put an end to it like they've always done when it came to black prosperity. See, black people in America and Africans join together, it's a wrap, and the world know that. That's why they work so hard to keep us divided. And this is why I just don't think this is a good idea for any of us to be participating in. This whole thing with black folks in America and black folks in Africa going at each other, this is exactly what the enemy designed. One thing that I like to do in my life is do the opposite of what my enemy wants me to do. Right now, the people who are participating in this back and forth, they're doing exactly what the enemy wants them to do. We have a common enemy, and this is why we're going at each other in the first place. It was designed like this. You don't see them going back and forth based on ethnicity. You don't see that. Oh, they're not doing all of that. They're not going back and forth talking about, you don't hear Finland talking about, we're going to boycott Norway. Norway talking about, we're going to boycott the white Americans because they think they're better than us. Yeah, they have their differences, but they're not going to add their personal grievances publicly. Let me tell you something, fam. Any so-called economic war between Black Americans and Africans are going to end up hurting African immigrant-run businesses who are already navigating regulatory, financial, and cultural barriers way more than it would hurt Black Americans. Way more. You know why? Because if there is a demand, someone will meet the supply. And guess what? I'll even add the rest of the immigrants in America to that list. If all of y'all want to go to war, I'm going to tell you, it's going to hurt y'all more because first and foremost, Black folks are your biggest consumers. If those services cannot be provided by y'all, all it's going to do is motivate Black people more to do it for themselves. And I think that's a damn good thing. We need to be self-sufficient and independent in the first place. And if we were more self-sufficient and independent, then we wouldn't have to rely on anybody for our goods and services. That's where we need to be anyway. Remember, right after slavery, remember Jim Crow? Remember how they wouldn't allow us to go into their restaurants, their hotels, their cleaners, their hospitals, their schools? So we built our own. And that's exactly what's going to happen should something like the so-called boycotting Black folks continues. So all of y'all out there that so-called have this Black fatigue, it is amazing how you don't have Black fatigue money. Because you love our money. You love our money. But you hate us. Make it make sense. Sounds hypocritical to me. Because if I really hated somebody, if I really didn't rock with them, I wouldn't rock with them at all. I wouldn't want nothing from them. They couldn't do nothing for me. Just to be clear, this so-called war between Blacks and Africans do not benefit either side. It benefits the colonizer. It benefits white supremacy. The plan, after all of these years, after all of this knowledge that we have, is still working to perfection. That is a goddamn shame. No more talk.